When Cheryl Wick started volunteering at the Nevada County Animal Shelter, the euthanasia rate of the animals at the shelter was 68%. Too many animals were injured or sick, which made them hard to adopt, and there weren't enough funds to nurse them back to health. So Cheryl decided to do something about that. She started a nonprofit organization which pays for the veterinary care of the animals through donations. It's called Sammy's Friends, named after her dog, Sammy.
This is a dog or a cat that nobody wanted, and now it's a loved pet, and it'll be taken care of forever.
Cheryl also organizes a group of over 100 volunteers to come to the shelter and walk and socialize the animals to make them happy. And a happy animal makes a great pet. The animals are now more adoptable, easy to find homes for.
I think they're God's creatures just like we are, and it's our job to take care of them. And so that's what we do.
Hi, I'm Debbie Friel, and I'm here at Sammy's Friends Animal Shelter, and we are a no-kill shelter, and it was created by Kurt and Cheryl. I met Cheryl 20 years ago when I started dog walking, and I've been here for 14 years as an employee for Sammy's Friends. I did work for the county before that, and it's just been the most amazing place to work. I've seen so many adoptions and so many animals get help with their medical needs. It's going to be really hard not seeing Kurt and Cheryl on a daily basis, but I'm sure I'll be seeing them around the community, and I appreciate all the wonderful things you both have done, and you're two of my favorite people in the whole world.
I want to give Kurt and Cheryl a huge thank you from all the animals and animal lovers in Nevada County. You both made such a huge difference in so many lives. I can't express the gratitude I have for you two. Your mentorship and guidance has had a huge impact in my life and has directed me on a career path I truly love. I can't thank you two enough for that. And then all the animals in Nevada County are the true winners. All the hard work and commitment you two have provided for Sammy's Friends has resulted in saving over 35,000 animals and has changed the culture of this community forever. I love you guys.
Well, so now that we're leaving Sammy's Friends, how did we get into this?
I don't know. It's all by accident. It was all because of a dog named Sammy.
Yeah, I remember my buddy Sammy.
Yeah.
That boy was just an amazing dog. And he and I hit it off.
You did.
I'm convinced that...
He said, "Mama, where do we find this guy? Was he a stray?"
Yeah, stray.
Yes, honey, he was a stray we picked up along the road.
Yeah, right. So tell me again how you got Sammy.
Well, one day I was at a cherry blossom festival in Cupertino, and somebody was carrying something like this. And I said, "What is that?" And they said, "It's a Shar-Pei." And I said, "What is a Shar-Pei?" And they said, "It's a dog." I'm like, "Oh, that is a really cute thing." And so a few weeks later, I saw another one. And then I went to see one of my clients, and just to have some small talk to get started, I said, she was a cat lady. I said, "Have you ever heard of a Shar-Pei?" And she said, "Yes, I have." So we chatted a little bit. She called me the next day and she said, "There's a lady at work that has 4 Shar-Pei puppies, 3 are spoken for. And if you want the 4th one, you better call her today." And I thought, I never said I wanted one. What is this? How many years later? Sammy came home with me, and I met him on a Wednesday night, I guess. And I said, "Well, I can't take him home." And it was like 10:30 at night. And I said, "I don't have a bed, I don't have a car, I have nothing for him." She said, "Well, I'll keep him till Sunday if you want him." So I said, "Well, I guess I'll sleep on it." And I called her the next morning and said, "I'll come and get him on Sunday."
Somehow we got together and decided that with Sammy's Friends we were going to do the best thing we could for animals in this county, and I think we've succeeded.
Yeah, and I guess just one thing I'd say about farm animals, although we're primarily known for dogs and cats, before we started running this shelter, there were never any farm animals there because animal control just didn't bring them in. But now, in the years we've done this, we've probably rescued 300 plus horses, and mules and donkeys and chickens and geese and turkeys and guinea pigs and ostriches and
Remember the boa?
emus and the what?
The boa constrictor?
Oh dear God, yes, the boa constrictor, iguanas. About the third day we ran the shelter, we got a 6-foot long boa constrictor. I'm kind of scared of a garter snake. I'm like, oh my God. I said,
But you did what you normally do.
I know. I said, well, buck up, Buttercup. This is what you signed up for, so deal with it.
Yeah, and you found a foster for it almost immediately.
Yeah.
But you know, over the years, we've had several times at the shelter where just unusual things have happened as far as, you remember that we got 41 horses at one time that we had to find homes for? And another time we got 100.
Let me just add about the 41 horses. A lady called the shelter and she said, I don't live in the Bay Area. I own some land up there. I came up to kind of just check up on things, and there are 41 horses on my land that I've never seen before.
Yeah. So animal control got involved, and we had to
Get them out of there.
do a lot of work to find homes for them. And Fran was pretty important in
She was
helping out on that. And then another time we got like 109 cats.
Yep.
So that, and they came in at like 4 o'clock at night, so our staff was working until like 9 o'clock to get all those cats just into cages. And then the next day, wasn't it true that they had 2 of our staff members work the entire day?
They did. At the end of the day, they vaccinated cats all day long. And at the
Yeah.
end of the day, I said, get out of their way because they'll vaccinate you. They're delirious. They don't know what they're doing anymore.
You have to do something with these animals quickly because there's no space at the shelter for them. And we've always succeeded in
Somehow figuring it out.
figuring it out. It comes with the territory.
Yeah, so I don't know, things just happen along
Yeah,
the way.
Just like Sammy's friend just happened because we were in the right place at the right time.
Or the wrong place at the wrong time, I don't know.
Oh, it's
No,
the
I'm
right-
kidding. I'm happy we
It's the
did
right
this.
thing. We did the right thing, and we're happy that we were able to create an organization like Sammy's Friends that really is well respected in the community.
And with all the people that have joined in to help through volunteering and donations and working there and every other imaginable way, the veterinarians.
You know, I was
we've
thinking the other
saved
day-
35,000 animals in these 22 years since we started all this.
Fran, it's nice to see you here with us. We've been talking a lot about how Sammy's Friends came to existence, but it would be interesting to know how you became connected with Cheryl at the dog facility out at the shelter.
Well, I lived on McCourtney Road farther out, and every day I would drive by the shelter, and I found my car would swerve towards it. Seriously. And then one day it took total control and turned me into the shelter, and I drove in. And I was very apprehensive about that animal shelter. You know, I was very afraid that I would be filled with pity and adopt every animal in the shelter. And it wasn't quite that bad. But I did adopt a few in my first week. But I pulled into the parking lot, and Cheryl was standing there with Kathleen O'Sullivan, and we started talking, and Cheryl mentioned that she was thinking about starting a dog walking program because the dogs didn't really have much opportunity to go outside. And I thought about it and thought, wow, that's something that I would like to do. And then I started becoming a dog walker, and at that point in time, there weren't very many, there were 2 or 3, so being a dog walker was quite an ordeal in that you would have to walk every dog in the shelter, but it still was very rewarding. It was obviously a very different place and a different time than it is now. But that was back in 2001, and I've stayed connected with Cheryl and with Sammy's Friends since then. My law firm was wonderful. I just thought, well, maybe this is the opportunity to do something totally different than anything you've ever done before, that is with animals, that is more meaningful. So I called Cheryl, and I said, do you do that executive director position? What about me? And we had a really bad connection. And she was like, what? I don't know. You know, so I was getting this really bad vibe from her. She, you know, because it took a lot for me to say that. And when I did say it and she didn't seem very enthusiastic, I was crushed.
Oh, Franny.
Yeah. But then
I was
she called me back when we had a better connection, and it took off from there. And I wanted to do something more meaningful. I've always loved animals. I have been a foster for Sammies. I have run events for Sammies. It's always been very near to my heart. And the opportunity to do something that you've always wanted to do, when it appears, it is so inspiring to finally do it. There have been so many dogs that, and essentially when the shelter is so full of dogs, that kind of takes over the whole feeling at the shelter. So, when I started, I cleaned kennels one day. I've worked at the thrift store. I've done a number of different things, and it has been different. But what is entirely consistent with what I viewed as what would happen is the dedication of the people at the shelter, the staff and the volunteers. When I see them just pitching in, when it's a very difficult and full environment, that inspires me.
When we started Sammy's Friends, we spent a lot of time thinking about creating a culture that would match our own values, right? So we have a very specific set of values and a vision, and we've worked really hard, and the current shelter director, Evan Walsh, has done a great job of assembling people who fit that mold.